Hey guys, my name's Justin and welcome to Hellsborough, where we care about design, behind designer, luxury. And if you do too, make sure to subscribe. Alright, I don't know what that was, but for today's video, I have another Battle Royale! If you're not familiar with Battle Royales, basically we've hit 8 different bags against one another, one-on-one until we get down to the final bag, and then that is the winner of Battle Royale. But when we look at these bags, we look at the design of them, the practicality, any other sort of aspect as well that might be relevant. I don't know, it's fun, and especially today's theme, it's a little different. I don't think I've done one with this kind of theme, but today we're gonna look at non-leather bags. I'm saying non-leather because, I mean, leather is not the main aspect to the bag. With some of these bags, you'll find like the tag is made out of leather or something like that. Something very minimal. I'll make note of which ones I'm talking about that are vegan, but if I only did vegan bags, I don't think I would be able to like have like too many interesting ones out there. At least to the level that I wanted to talk about, if that makes sense. But anyways, let's get started. This is gonna be fun. The lineup for today is the Stella McCartney Frayme Mylo shoulder bag, Simone Rocha handheld Perspex egg bag, the House of Sunny Prima bag, the Prada Re-Edition 2005 Re-Nylon, the Alchemy Water Moon crossbody, the Cult Gaia's Arc Small, the Telfar medium shopping bag, and the Paco Rabanne iconic 1969 bag in silver. Alright, round 1, let's go. Also, I think I'm rubbing my hands because it's actually kind of chilly. I had my windows open earlier, and yeah, it's still cold here.
Round 1, match 1.
Stella McCartney Frayme Mylo
Versus
Simone Rocha handheld Perspex egg bag.
Fight.
Alright, so the Stella McCartney black Frayme Mylo shoulder bag. Well, first off, let me just say, if you are surprised at all that I'm not just doing the regular like Stella McCartney Falabella bag, Fabalella? Whatever that bag is, there was something really interesting about this bag that I wanted to talk about. Like, Stella McCartney, all of her bags, I think they are actually vegan. She just refuses to use leather in like a good way. But there's something about the Mylo Frayme shoulder bag that I wanted to talk about. First off, let's just talk about the structure of the bag. This bag is a semicircular bag. I think it's a very beautiful bag actually, and I love that it has a mixed metal chain that goes like around the bag like completely. So not only is it like one of the handles, it also acts kind of like as the foot of the bag, the feet of the bag when it goes underneath it. I think it's really clever and I love the design of this. I feel like there's kind of like a renaissance of like this kind of structure to a bag where like it's circular, top, bottom is pretty much the same minus like where like the actual compartment is. But I think what's really exciting to me about this material is the Mylo part. So Mylo is, you can say like in basic terms, it's like mushroom leather. It's like a mycelium based fiber and textile material. Let's just go with the word material because I'm like not entirely too sure about the process, just because like, you know, you have a patented process, you don't want to like be too descriptive about it, right? And then we have the Simone Rocha handheld Perspex egg bag. I love this bag. I'm obsessed with this bag. I love that it's a freaking egg. It's so silly. And the fact that like it opens up as a hinge. It's like any sort of like Minaudier that you would find anywhere else. But I love that it has a little bit of versatility. It has that crossbody strap. It has a little like hand strap to make it more into like a clutch. I would also love to just carry it as an egg. I don't know, I just think that's so funny. But I also do love that it has this kind of like pearlescent finish, you know? Alright, but then looking at them against one another, one of them has this kind of like, in a way, gimmicky-ish kind of shape. I think depending on your style, it's not. Like, I feel like for me, I could just carry that in like random Tuesday. But we have that one versus something that maybe reads a little bit more as practical while still having a lot of beauty. And then there's the whole conversation about the difference in materials.
Look at the material.
It's not something that I'm gonna go too deep in right now, but I think there's a certain level of like excitement when we're talking about like a new type of material on almost like a very wearable bag. Just that kind of excitement alone, the Stella McCartney Mylo Frayme is the winner.
Winner.
Stella McCartney, Frayme Mylo.
Round 1. Match 2.
House of Sunny, Frayme bag.
Versus
Prada Reedition 2005 Rabanne.
Fight.
So I'm not super familiar with House of Sunny. The bits of research that I have done basically are like, this is like Gen Z's favorite brand. I'm like, okay, whatever. I actually do really like this bag, and I think I might really like this brand. So the Piñatex bag, it has this tubular handle that, again, we're seeing it goes around this bag, and it kind of creates this like, not exactly circular shape because the shape of the bag isn't circular, but it gives that kind of like feeling, right? Honestly, there are some aspects of this bag that kind of remind me of like the Chanel hula hoop that I have. Not like trying to compare it or brag or anything, I don't know. It just came off weirdly braggy, but I do see like similarities, and I think that's one of the reasons why I find this bag so interesting. Like, again, same as the Frayme, I love that kind of like circular motif. But what I think is most exciting about the House of Sunny is their brand ethos, in that they are trying to minimize consumption, in that they really do just release like the 2 collections a year, similar to like a luxury fashion house, but then they don't worry about like churning things out. You buy something from them, they don't overproduce, and you're expected to keep it for a while. And I think that's really impressive coming from, I don't know, any brand right now, because we're seeing even like huge luxury houses kind of churning stuff out, like Chanel, like Louis Vuitton, Gucci. Like, they're really just pushing stuff out to make more money because they just want to make more money. And then of course, up against it, we have Prada, which kind of the opposite of what House of Sunny's brand ethos is, right? Like, But we have the Reedition 2005 Re-Nylon. Basically, this crossbody bag that was super viral. It has like little extra pouch and the whatever chain or whatever handle to like mix it up, make it more versatile. Let me tell you, don't get me wrong, I love the versatility of this, but like, this bag has been everywhere, literally everywhere, in everyone's faces. And if you have it, love it, because it is a beautiful bag. But me personally, I'm just like, okay, I'm glad everyone else has it. I do like this bag, but it's also not for me. Also, it's a little too small for me. I like to carry a lot of stuff, so that's also that there. But then when we look at these bags one up against each other, I think it's kind of obvious who the winner is. I'm not saying that the whole like non-leather battle royale is meant to be like, oh, look at sustainability, because sustainability is opposite of consumption in a way, right? Like, we shouldn't even look to like buying new things in a way if we're talking about sustainability. But having this huge fashion house that, sure, like they recycle plastic or whatever, stuff like that, but it still is like putting more plastic out there in a way, and it still is about creating more things to be consumed, versus House of Sunny, which is like, oh, you know, we're just gonna do our thing, buy it, but we're not gonna make too much. I love that. So on top of the fact that the bag designs, this interesting like shoulder bag where it has like the tubes running around it, I just find that a lot more interesting right now. Check in with me after like a year or so, but where we're at now, I'm gonna have to give it to the Prima.
Winner.
House of Sunny, Prima bag.
Round 1. Match 3.
Alchemy, Water Moon Crossbody.
Versus
Called Gaia's Art Small.
Fight.
I literally have not heard of this brand ever in my life. I'm going to assume it's called Alchemy. I know I said it before with like such confidence, but I have no idea. Okay, but then let's talk about the Water Moon Crossbody. It is a half moon shape, the little kind of like tote with a little round handle on top, and then there's little like hardwares on the ends for you to turn it into a crossbody. I do think this is a very cute bag. This one, again, is made out of an alternative leather. It's pineapple leather, and it's called Piñatex. And apparently it's made from like felting together pineapple leaves that would otherwise just be a waste material. And then I actually read that the lining is made out of recycled water bottles, so it's helping support, I don't know. It still is there, like what are we doing here? All right, next bag we're talking about is the Cult Gaia's Arc. I love this bag. Again, it's a half moon shape, but this one is made out of bamboo, and I love a good like wooden bag. Any sort of like really like stiff natural material. Even like some of the wicker bags that I've seen, I'm actually into, but when it's like actual bamboo, thing of beauty. One of the things I love about this bag is that it has this like open construction, so it's very like breathable. It feels like a summer bag, but also means that if you wanted to actually carry stuff in a good way, I can't remember actually if it comes with a drawstring bag, but either way, you need like a drawstring like pouch to like go in there so you don't lose your like smaller things. My one issue with it is that it has zero versatility in my opinion. Like sure, you could just carry it under your arm, carry it by the handles, but that's kind of it. To my knowledge, this existing model doesn't have like a crossbody strap or shoulder strap you can attach to it. Like, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but that's kind of like the thing that kills me here. Because now when we look at both of them, we have this pineapple leather bag. It has the versatility, but it still has a funky like top handle versus this wooden bag, which is very beautiful and has this open construction and is made out of wood, a very like stiff material. So you have that kind of like duality of like openness, but something like a little heavy, right? Okay, it is actually funny. I didn't realize how very close their shapes were. I was just like, oh yeah, we have like a round tote and a round tote, but no, they're actually like super similar. So that makes it kind of tricky because it really comes down to like the material and versatility. And honestly, for me, I am gonna have to give it to the Water Moon Crossbody.
Winner.
Alchemy Water Moon Crossbody.
Round 1, match 4.
Telfar Medium Shopping Bag.
Versus
Paco Rabanne Iconic 1969 bag.
Fight.
Alright, last little bit of round 1. The bag that we're talking about right now is near and dear to my heart. The Telfar shopping bag. An amazing bag when it comes to practicality and durability and the look. Of course, the look. It's very simple, but there's just something about it that makes it so easily recognizable. When you're talking about like, oh, it's just a rectangular bag, it's so easy to recognize when someone carries this bag. Like, it's something that I talk about in all of my bag reviews. I'll link some somewhere, maybe. So if you are familiar with this channel at all, you know, like, rectangular shopping bag, fake leather, aka plastic, and then the crossbody / shoulder strap is attached, and then there's an interior pocket. Boom. That's the Telfar shopping bag. And let's move on to the next bag. So it's the Paco Rabanne Iconic 1969 bag in this silver metal. I love everything that Paco Rabanne has done when it comes to chainmail in fashion. There's a lot of like futurism that he brought, especially when you talk about like this bag. It is so cute. These little metal discs coming together to make a chainmail like little pouch, I think is so funny. It's this dainty little thing that you make out of metal. It just seems so like hypocritical in a way, but not in like in the good way, like in a fun way. It's like, oh, I'm gonna make something like super like delicate, but then it's made out of like a really like strong material. Love that. The way that the chain handle is done, it slides through like the points of attachment to the bag. So you can either wear it as a shoulder bag or you can wear it as a crossbody. I think that's super smart. I think that's a lot of ingenuity for using a material in a new way. I think it's super smart. And the fact that it happened way back when. It happened, hold on, oh my god, 70, 30, oh my god, 50 years ago? Oh my god. Okay, let's compare the two now. While there is versatility in the 1969 bag, it still is a tiny pouch. Like, this is definitely a bag that you use to go out, go to dinner, go to a club, I guess, go to the theater, I don't know, walk on the boardwalk. I don't know, whatever you want to do that you don't need to carry much. The Telfar has this extreme level of like practicality to the fact that like even I use it as my daily driver every single day. When I go to work, I carry this bag. When I'm going on an errand, I'll bring this bag. It's crazy. Maybe I'm biased, but I think I'm just gonna have to give it to the Telfar shopping bag.
Winner.
Telfar medium shopping bag. Alright, that is the first round done. That was traumatic a little bit. For me, not you, hopefully. Right? Okay, anyways, let's move on to the second round.
Semi-final, match 1.
Stella McCartney Frayme Mylo
Versus
House of Sunny Prima bag.
Fight.
The people upstairs are singing very badly, so if you can hear them, it's not my fault. I tried the best I could. They are really like living their lives. Alright, so both of these bags actually have like a very similar concept, and it's kind of what I was talking about before, where it's like, it's a bag that has a thing that goes around it. One of them's a chain, and one of them's like these tubes. But I have to say, in one, we're seeing like a cutting edge material, but it's a super limited number of pieces, which adds to the fact that it feels more like a novelty and is almost like not taking it seriously as like a material to use moving forward into the future. On the other side, the Prima bag, there is like this limited aspect to it, but it just more has to do with like the brand ethos, where they try not to overproduce so that they don't create waste and they only create a certain amount of products each time. But then we have like the Prima, there's another bag style that are recurring, but they just do it in different colors, prints, whatever the next season is. And I think when we're talking about, well, Stella McCartney has been doing vegan bags for so long. She's been doing it before it was trendy, and that's absolutely something to be respected. House of Sunny, from their inception, they've also been doing that. So I don't really think looking at the age of a house has anything to do with the conversation here. That being said, one thing that does bother me is this Mylo product. When you kind of look into alternative leathers, oftentimes what you're looking at is, sure, there is some sort of organic material that is processed in hopefully a sustainable way, which most of them are actually, to get this like raw material, but then the process of getting them from that raw material into what this leather looking, leather feeling kind of material is, there is this little bit of like shadow that they don't like to talk about. And I think typically it's because there's a certain amount of like unsustainable practice when it comes to it. So it feels a little bit like greenwashing in a way, where it's like, oh no, this is a very like interesting process where we're using these organic materials to make leather. But then why are you not talking about the last step, where the last step has to do typically with like coating these materials in plastic? And that's kind of what we're seeing with like the Mylo. Like, let me know if you see otherwise. But also, like, it's very hard to know what the actual process is, because this whole sustainable brand, not Stella McCartney, I'm talking more to the material maker, by the way. I'm not necessarily saying it's a bad thing, but I just have an issue with the marketing and the way that it's made to seem like, oh, this is a completely natural bag, when sure, most of it is. Be proud of that. But then you're still using plastics, which is fine. That's just where we are in society. That's fine. But that's just my little like rant about that. But let's get back to the actual like comparison. I mean, that's part of it, right? Like when we're having this expectation of material, we have something that just, it is, you know, plastic, versus something that is presenting itself as an organic material, but then there still is plastic. It just leaves a little bit of a bitter taste in my mouth. The chain on the Frayme bag is very interesting, but it doesn't really look as comfortable as the Prima bag, where it is just the tubular handle. I can't personally speak to like the comfort level of the Frayme bag, but I can speak to the feeling of having tube handles on your shoulder, and that is quite comfortable. Just kind of a combination of all of the things I've talked about. I think it's the House of Sunny Prima.
Winner,
House of Sunny, Prima bag.
semi-final, match 2,
Alchemy, Water Moon Crossbody.
versus
Telfar medium shopping bag.
Fight.
I wanted to take a moment to talk about this like Piñatex. I don't know if they have the tilde over the N. So we're seeing something very similar to Mylo, where it is this like groundbreaking, cutting edge new material. It's a waste product from pineapple leaves that gets processed, dried, turned into fibers, and then felted into material. What is that last step? This one I actually do appreciate. It was very easy to see that the last step of this was, it's coated with something called polylactic acid, which basically is like an organic polyester in a way, right? The thing for me is when they talk about this polyester, they talk about it being degradable. I'm trying to remember the quote that they said, but like when using specific industrial composting methods or something like that, which like, okay, when we're talking about industrial, so that means it's not actually compostable at home. It's not actually biodegradable. And looking at polylactic acid, it actually just, it's a plastic. That's what it's, the way that they degrade it is with high heat typically. So it's a plastic, just like a lot of other things degrade with high heat. That honestly left me with such a sour taste in my mouth. And then on top of that, maybe this is a more personal thing and probably shouldn't be sharing this, but Piñatex, it comes from pineapple leaves that are waste products of pineapples grown in the Philippines, which I'm Filipino, in case you couldn't tell. I'm sure you guys could tell. But the founder of Piñatex or whatever is a Spanish woman. So it just feels very like colonial, like imperialist to be like, the Philippines was having such an issue with these waste products. They weren't doing anything with it, so I'm going to do something great with it. But in reality, you're making this organic material, coating it in plastic, and then calling it this like cutting edge material. So it's really, it's really killing me when these like companies try to like greenwash and make you feel good about buying these products. It's so off-putting to me. I cannot stand it. Okay, bringing it back to the bag in general, we have this round bag. It has a detachable crossbody strap, which I know people love a detachable crossbody strap. For me, it doesn't matter. I never take my crossbody straps off unless it's for storage. And then we have the Telfar, which is very durable. It's a perfect shape to actually be practical because it's rectangular. It's not going to have a curved bottom, so you know things aren't going to get jumbled around in there. For me, no brainer, the Telfar medium shopping bag.
Winner.
Telfar medium shopping bag.
Semifinals down, we are at the finals, and I am stressed out.
Final.
House of Sunny Prima bag.
Versus.
Telfar medium shopping bag.
Fight.
So we have the Prima bag from House of Sunny. I think I've just been gushing about the structure and the shape of this bag this whole time because it feels very like, in a way, nostalgic, but also very forward. And I have such a huge crush on the house ethos. It's something that like I haven't seen in a while, and I think it's very exciting. And like, let me just stop you where you are right now for a second, because I know you're like, Justin, we know you love Telfar. We know Telfar's gonna win this one. I do love Telfar, and I love this bag. I use this bag every day. I have zero complaints about it. I think it's one of the most amazing bags ever made. From the durability of it, the community aspect, and the fact that I'm seeing a lot more people in Europe carrying Telfar is a good sign for me when it comes to like supporting this like Liberian American designer. He is amazing. But that's also just like one side of the coin. And then the other side of the coin is, of course, you know, it still is a plastic bag, although the House of Sunny bag is also plastic. But I'm really not selling my case on like being like unbiased and fair. Because if you look at it, like the house ethos of House of Sunny is amazing, but the bag is a shoulder bag. It doesn't have the kind of practicality that I think I specifically look for. I think if you love shoulder bags, I think this would be the winner for sure. If we were doing a shoulder bag one, this would be the winner because Telfar, it's a tote bag. Like, that doesn't I'm like falling apart. I'm really trying to be fair, you guys. I think I am though. I don't know, kind of. And sure, the Telfar shopping bag doesn't technically close on the top, even though there is like the little like button closure, the magnetic closure, the magnetic button closure. Okay guys, yeah, I'm just gonna give up. I'm gonna give this to Telfar because
Champion.
Telfar medium shopping bag.
Oh my god, I cannot believe it.
I know what I just said. I know that makes me a liar, but I am a liar, and at least I admit to it. Unlike Piñatex and Mylo. Alright y'all, I am going to have to just wrap it up. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think there's a different like non-leather bag that could have won this? Do you think that I'm just extremely biased and you knew that Telfar was going to win as soon as you saw it on the lineup? Like, that's fine, you can tell me. But also, I think it really does deserve to win. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. I love hearing from you guys. But that is all I have for you today. So if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. It lets me know that you like this kind of content and that you do care about the design behind designer luxury. Until next time.
Oh my god, I cannot believe it. That is shocking and devastating. I can't believe it. Oh my god.